All right, y'all, and we live. So every Sunday from 6 to 8, we bring y'all the Northwest Austin Council. A couple community people talking some community things right here on the West Side. We don't know if we're gonna be joined by the congressman today, but hopefully he come. He's always insightful. And he bring that history with him, man, that we so love to hear about, especially as we around this Thanksgiving holiday, where it's all about family, friends, and loving on one another. I just left an event that speaks directly to that over here in the Austin community. We had my boy Roman Morrow, who's been doing a soul food powwow for the last 16 years, give or take a couple of those years, because I could be wrong. But his mom cooks all the food. She spent the last 48 hours preparing every single dish outside of the desserts that was served, and it was good. It was good. For all that food to come from one woman's hands, it was really good. I cannot stress how good the food was. And I'm a big boy, so I eat. But anyway, that's where we at now. And, that's the focus of the conversation. It's just this Thanksgiving holiday, man, where we, talk about loving on one another and, coming together the way family's supposed to around this time, man. Changed a lot. Changed a lot. I remember Thanksgiving being a shorty and how everybody used to slide through, man. And everybody used to take all the plates home with them. We don't do that no more. Not a whole lot of sliding. Maybe because I'm grown now and I got my own family. Mm-hmm. Mom ain't cooking this year, so that's gonna be different. Yeah, and nobody's going over my mom's house either, so that's gonna be different too. But hey, that's what getting older is for. I suppose.
It seems like it's one of those years because my wife's not cooking, and it's the first time in ever, that she's not cooking this Thanksgiving. But I think it's in response to that we're doing a Thanksgiving giveaway that day. And then we got a family that's going to have a family dinner, so we really don't have time.
Oh, your family's going to come to the place and do Thanksgiving here?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
In the evening, and then the giveaway is during the day.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. That's what's
up. We'll be seriously Thanksgiving.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanksgiving this year.
Yeah, that's dope. All right, y'all. So we in, and as we always start up, man, I go straight to Steve and I say, "What you got going on, Steve?"
Oh, we got the recap of yesterday. For the turkey giveaway, there was at least, I want to say 500 people came through yesterday because the giveaway was for 500 turkeys and hams, or the combination thereof. And there was so many people, but everything went very well. And I hope everyone was pleased with what they received, a ham or a turkey. At one point, it got a little bit out of hand. Somebody double parked in the middle of Division Street, which behooves me. Why you want to do that, knowing it was Division Street? But nevertheless, I think everyone was pleasantly pleased to receive a turkey or a ham for Thanksgiving. For those that were in need, hopefully their needs have been met, and they can help somebody else by creating that meal and help feeding someone that was in need, that's in need of a meal. The congressman came by, obviously, because it was his giveaway. Who else we have? I think Camille Lilly came by. Yes, she did. Representative Lilly came by, and a few others here and there. But I was just happy to see the community came out. I saw quite a few community people that I haven't seen in a while, and those that I have seen more recently. But nevertheless, I think it was a great day overall. Great day. I like doing things where we can help people out. Anything that we could do to help people, I always feel good about. It's in my mind. I always tell myself, I met a lot of great people in my lifetime, and when I say great, I just really mean people that regular common people that either came into my life or came into their lives, and we had an opportunity to be a part of this world. Are you getting ready to do some more recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were recording. We got a show. We got the show going. And I'm also simultaneously recording because the last time I ran for alderman, didn't document the journey, and I wanted to because I thought it was going to be cool to look back and see the trials and tribulations, the conversations I had, and things like that. So this time, I'm carrying around my trusty camera with me, and I'm documenting some of the facets of the journey. Yesterday, I had it, and we were at the, how you call it? It was the block club gathering, so to speak, for the Safe and Peaceful grant. So a bunch of community leaders that got that grant were in attendance, and it was a nice outing. Then after that, we went Jamal Cole, who does the my block, my city, my hood, my block, my city, M3. We went to his situation, which was another appreciation event for block club members. Good thing is 3 people from the West Side won. Tony Daniels from the 5500 block of Adams. Patty Carrillo of the 1100 block of North Monticello. And, I cannot think of this lady's name. Elder. She's been on her block for, she said, 57 years. And she was on the 300 South Lotus block.
So right off of Madison or Washington there?
Yeah. South. 300 South. So just, Jackson. Yeah. So, So it was a cool event. It was a really cool event. And so I've been just documenting the journey this time around. So you see me with my camera, you know why.
Yeah. Other thing is, this weather just kind of flipped on us, didn't it? It went from 70 degrees to 7 degrees almost.
Oh, man, it's cold out there.
In a matter of a week. How does that happen? 70 to 7. But I think that, again, yesterday, the biggest thing was the giveaways. There were quite a few giveaways in the city of Chicago yesterday. I think there were somewhere out south, they were giving away groceries along with the turkey or something like that.
Yeah.
I think.
A lot of them. It was a lot of them.
Right.
It was a lot of churches, a lot of orgs. Kind of find out Breakthrough was doing it. It was everybody. Everybody.
That's good. That everyone should have had an opportunity to receive something, and hopefully, everyone did. Because it was pretty cold yesterday, but people came out. We were happy to see that people were out, and we're even happy to give out the turkeys. Congressman Davis, he spoke at the event, and being the poet that he is, he said a poem. I think it had something to do with the holidays, something with over the river and through the woods. It's the poem that he always says, but he has it put down to a format where he knows how to recite it every time he's out in public. But I was going to say, I think it was quite a good time yesterday, I have to say, and hopefully Congressman Davis will be by today, so we can talk a little bit more in depth about what's going on and what we can be doing going into the new year. We're only 40 days away from the new year?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
40? No, just a little bit. No.
Today's the 20th.
Oh, we in November, aren't we?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Still got about 10 more days left in this month.
Oh, yeah. Time flies.
Yeah. The year is already amongst us.
I know. I got 21 days of school left. That's how I'm counting it down.
There you go.
Man.
Countdown to educational freedom.
Man. Yeah.
So how about everybody out there? Let's get into the audience. Let's find out what's going on. What's happening, Barbara?
Nothing much. Thanks for the event yesterday. It was nice. And DeAndre, I was really proud of your meeting side. We need more voices like that you spoke and letting us know what the young people are looking for. Remember, we just had that discussion last time.
Right.
And for her to come forward, we really need to hear their voice. They feel we're missing in the community, right? To get them involved. So I thought that was very nice that you had your nieces and nephews there, young people that became at the age they could vote. So that was really good, and it was a nice crowd there too, like y'all said.
Yeah.
It's always good to help, and I just wish we could do this year round and not just for the holidays, but people hungry every day, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully we can to a point that we could feed them every day, or when it's needed, not just the holidays, that we could show them some love. I bring them some love.
That is strange that you said feed people every day, and you look at America and you go, how can that possibly be that in the land of the free and the home of the brave and all of that, we can't even feed Americans? That just doesn't make sense. The land of the plenty. That's what it said. Land of the plenty, and we can't even feed all the people in this country. And what is it? 330 million now.
I mean, is it that though? Well, I think part of it is that are we being solution oriented? Because whereas we have availability of plots, land that people can purchase, we can create urban farming. Like those same people that's homeless could learn how to till the land and eat.
Yeah.
Like seriously. Now that doesn't mean that they like. And then with some businesses and things, like let's take the hatchery for example.
Mm-hmm.
Say these homeless folks, they learn how to garden. They spend, most of their day, and I know they probably got to make money into the have it go, and I'm sure we can figure out something. But the hatchery is a place available for people that are looking for business space to cook.
Mm-hmm.
So that same space could be open for them to cook food and prepare food for themselves if they need the food to be cooked. So the question is we don't have enough people in positions of power that are actually solution oriented. Everything that we do is a stopgap measure, a band-aid, if you will, to ease the burden for right now, but it doesn't solve an issue. Case in point, that's one of the reasons why I'm not too fond of the various nonprofits that we have in the community. All we do is talk about how much they don't do, although they service a need, but nonprofits should be in existence to fulfill a need and then go away, but it doesn't.
Right.
So that means you're obviously not attacking the problem in the right way. All you did was create a stopgap measure, Band-Aid.
Unless you're a nonprofit that's about building, because when you build, you're never gonna stop building. There's never an end to building and creating, because it just transforms and changes. But I was just sitting there thinking about, like you said, what could we do to make people more sustainable when it comes to feeding themselves and creating, housing themselves?
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that can be done. Yeah, definitely can be done. I think the biggest thing is we were talking about was container homes.
Yeah.
Utilization of container homes to actually house people. And everybody goes, well, it's a container, it's a freight train, it's a container. And it's like, no, it's not. That's just the structural part of it. The interior would be just like a home. The exterior could be just like a home. It's just the structural part of the building or home that comes from a container. And people, when you show them the photos, I don't know if you will pull up something. That's something that looks like a container home.
Oh, container home. Yeah.
Because when people see them, they go, "Wow, that's really nice." And most of them are very modern looking. They're very modern facades with. It could be glass structures. It could be wood, cladded, painted as is. It could be planted with some brick or whatever. But they're very, very modern more than anything. Let me see. Y'all about to show something?
Yeah, because that was a big thing. The town homes and tiny homes, right?
Yeah.
In some cases, they're building a tiny home,
Right.
But the tiny homes, they are really nice. So I'm like, that's what you do instead of one upward project. The individual home and have somebody, appreciate what they have, appreciate what they have. One thing, they appreciate it more. They appreciate it more.
They go right up.
Make it building.
They go right up.
This is one that's just cut and dry.
It's a 40-foot home, one bedroom, one bath, and a living room. They go your living room, it looks like that's probably the bathroom. It looks like a kitchen or something. Well, wait, look. Well, the features are 1 bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, a front deck.
Yeah.
This your front deck right here.
This is 12 and a half feet by 12 and a half. Most bedrooms are not even 12 feet in the older structures. They're 10 feet across, 10 by 10.
There you go, right there. So you got a 1 bedroom. That's possibly the bedroom. Actually, I look like I see a bed. But anyway, doesn't matter. You could fit a bedroom, a bathroom, a kitchen.
Let's see what else. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Oh, a little video. Can't see, can't hear it. But that's what it looked like. Interactive.
Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't quite call these tiny homes. These are.
I mean, that's a house. That's a 1 bedroom. The only difference is instead of it being a square, it's a rectangle.
Right.
And that means you just walk straight across to the wherever you need to go.
And they can be square.
And they can
have multiple levels, levels. I mean, these are options. And a container, if I'm not mistaken, they start at like $1,500 to about $3,000. I don't know. $3,000. Yeah, that's about right for the.
But I mean, those are the things that we need to be focused on, like the solutions. How do we?
And as far as structurally being sound and having some structural integrity, that's definitely there because it's made of steel. And, people tend to think, oh man, it's steel, it's going to be cold, it's going to be too hot. Actually, they're insulated just like any other home would be. And it would give you the proper HVAC or heating, air conditioning, and ventilation that any home that we currently live in have, or better, because they are able to create things and systems that are a lot more higher in performance than what we're living in now. I mean, that's the homes now that have no insulation in them. They're just bricks, 3 layers of brick, no insulation behind the wall. So container homes are something to consider. I mean, you don't even have a whole village of container homes. I never thought about that, a village of container homes. But as many vacant lots that we have in the city of Chicago, especially in areas where you could, where they would fit in with the lands, with the rest of the community, I think this is a good option. I don't know if they would look that good in bungalows.
Well, I mean, there's a lot, but
what about 2 flats? Nah.
Well, there's a lot of empty spaces, though. I mean, even if it was 2 flats, though, you could build up. So you could just create a ladder or whatever it would be to get to the next spot.
No, they would they probably build a metal staircase.
Yeah.
But it would definitely be internal.
Yeah. It could be an internal staircase.
How that would look. I know there's a good contrast between the gray stones, because the gray stones kind of they go back,
right,
a lot further than
right.
Well, yeah, about the same. But they just have a more older look. So when you have this modern next to the old, they kind of play off of each other, opposed to a bungalow. Then you got this modern looking house next to it, super modern.
Yeah, I mean,
and then food. Now let's talk about the food issue. Again, why is it in America? First of all, I don't think there should be any older person or any child in America that should go without eating. They should be able to eat every day that they live. They should have food. There's no reason in America we should have
sustainable practices, though. That's the problem. If listen, how about we do this? We come up with a spot that can be a refrigerator, so to speak, for all of the organizations that's gonna put their food away.
Right.
So if somebody from here have an event at your place, instead of you keeping it in your refrigerator, you take it to the spot in the neighborhood where they got the freezers, and they could break it down into small packages. They could freeze it, and everybody in the neighborhood could do that. One central location, and now everybody know what we can do. Bro. We ain't wasting nothing.
Yeah.
Sustainability. That's the problem. We're not coming up with ideas for sustainability.
I just saw a place. There's a place in New York that's doing something like that. It was a pretty big outfit. I think it was called Harvest, and they collect the food and then I think they repackage it.
And that's it. That's all you gotta do.
And they distribute it.
That's all you gotta do. When leftover events, all of that. Everybody, every event you go to. So, hey man, come on, man, take the food. I don't want to take it with. No, we're gonna take it to them. And then anybody that's here in the Austin community that need food, from the young to the old, can go right there, go get refrigerated food or repackaged food. Then you just put a date on it. So we only gonna keep it 2-3 days.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we
keep it moving. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got to start. That's where our mind got to be. We just have to be more solution oriented and focused on sustainable practices. Like I said, I don't think that anybody that's homeless that's looking for food should not be gardening. Like, don't charge. Like, I was gardening earlier this year. They don't pay for a bed. They homeless. They can't. But they learn how to garden. They keep coming. Number one, you giving them something to do every day. Now I know they got to go get their money, but that ain't got to be a 24-hour process. You know what I'm saying? And then there's enough places here, shelters and everything, that give clothes and everything in case that becomes an issue. So I mean, we just got to figure out how.
Even with gardening, if they grow enough, they can utilize that as some income.
That facts. We was doing the outside garden market, so they could start in February, March, whatever it's gonna start, and then by the time August come, you should have some type of harvest. You can make a few dollars with it.
So yeah, there's no excuse.
We just America lazy and fat, man. That's what that's what it is. Mm-hmm. We gotta be honest with ourselves. America is lazy and fat, and we keep coming up with band-aids for these things that could be like me. I mission together is to see sustainability in our community. How do we do that? We got to think with a sustainable mindset. Let's reuse the things that we already use. Stop looking at things.
Well, you just said something. America is lazy and fat. Let's look at the rest of the world. What do you think people on islands are?
They're healthy.
Well, okay.
They work.
What are they doing? Because you're on the island, you don't have much. What do you do? You grow.
Well, they import. They really import. But they are growing though. But I got my friend got married to a Jamaican man who talks about the food here. He's like, man, this doesn't taste good here. It tastes much different in the island. But when you go back there, nobody's fat though. They live on the island. They live on Jamaica. Mm-hmm. Nobody's fat over there. Because they fucking climbing trees, cutting down coconuts though. So that's different. They gotta be healthy. They gotta be fit to get their food.
The other part is they walk more because they probably don't have the transportation like we do.
That's what I'm saying. Lazy and fat.
Yeah,
America, lazy and fat, man.
But the thing is, when you think about island life, you think about laid back life. You don't think of them as like they're hustling and moving and staying and fit, moving, but
that's what you come here for. You don't go home to hustle. You come to America to hustle because you can hustle here. That's what America is made off hustle. Like the American mentality is that you're supposed to work yourself and burn yourself out. You work 8 days a week. You work 46 hours a week. A day, 46 hours a day. You know what I mean? Like keep working, keep moving. One day you'll make it. Like that's the American mindset over and over again. And other people look at us crazy like, what? Why do y'all work like that?
You know how long Americans been working 50-hour plus weeks?
I don't think it's been that long. I don't think so, right?
Since the 70s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not that long. I don't think that's long.
It's almost 50 years.
Yeah, it's not long though. Considering the history, like the America was founded 1619?
Yeah, but come on. We did work 50 hours a day.
Slaves. That's facts. Slaves ain't clock out in 8 hours. Yeah, the sun up to sundown.
Yeah.
5 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day.
But I'm saying as we became more industrialized for the last 100-something years.
Yeah.
It only became a 50-hour a week male husband and wife in the early 70s. And I thought that was the craziest thing. When people like in Germany, they've been working 37 hours a week, 37-hour weeks since the 70s.
And they just instituted a 4-day work week in one of them Eastern European countries.
Really? They figured it out.
I ain't think that, man. America could do that. We could work 10 hours. People would love to be able to trade in. Yeah, you're doing it anyway. We would love to trade in an 8-hour, 5-day work week for a 10-hour, 4-day work week.
And 3 days off.
You'll trade that in a heartbeat. Oh, hell yeah, I do that.
3
Like,
days.
no overtime though, right? No, I can't get overtime. Well, just miss out on overtime. I'd rather be at home 3 days a week.
Right. Because think about it. With overtime, that just means that somebody's not being efficient.
Right.
That's all it is.
Right.
If you're constantly doing overtime, well, why don't you just get another body?
Right.
And pay that person. Oh, we don't want to do that. We have to be more liable for paying another person. Well, you probably get more productivity. But you're paying it in overtime, which for some reason they think is the proper thing.
It's American greed, though.
Greed over need. Greed over need. That's the problem. What you say there, Cora? Are you there?
Yeah,
How are you?
I'm good.
That's good, good.
How's everyone?
We doing good in this cold winter day. But we were just saying earlier how we appreciate the people coming out and everyone being able to have something to take home for Thanksgiving. Oh, and
Man, I was surprised to see that many people.
oh wow,
Really?
It was more than look. We probably had 600 plus people over here yesterday. Easy. People still coming after everybody. People coming at 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And I'm like, you're a little bit late, but you're early for next year. But hey, it's good that people were able to get something, and then we do know with the food, everybody's going to share it because I don't think anybody could eat all of that, turkey and ham or whatever. So it is truly the time to give, and that's what we need to start really thinking about. What does it really mean? What does it really mean, and how do we project that ideology of giving? How do we get younger people and old and all of us to come together in a sense of giving? And what can we give? We go back to Barry. Barry always talk about time exchange time. Yeah, that's true. But how do we get the people to understand how that should work? And in some cases, there's just too much giving because some people can't, they want to give, but they don't know how do you say it? They want to give, but they have to figure out how to fit them in. Like, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I couldn't tell who the volunteers were anymore. Because it was, at one point, I could have sworn there was 20 volunteers.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of volunteers for sure.
So I'm like, okay, so we got 20 volunteers. We got 2.
Like when that line started getting down, when all the people started volunteering too.
Well, yeah, because we needed at least 5 or 10 of them on the front end. Did you ever monitor what was on the front end? Because I never got a chance to get on.
What you consider front end?
The front door, the front line, the hallway.
Oh yeah. That's where I was at. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at.
I didn't know who was in that area.
Yeah, I was just moving back through different parts, man. Trying to move people through, and I was just wherever I could be useful at. That's what I was.
I was all over because I'm like trying to figure out who's doing what because what was the plan? Who's
they say all that looking they came to do. Ain't nobody put together the plan, the demand plan.
Right.
Yeah. We ain't know nothing about the demand plan.
But I'm like, who's on first?
Right.
Who's on second base and all of that. At the end of the day. But all I know was I just treated people as they were exiting and try to help them out through the door. So that was good enough. At first it was just kind of over. You know what was overwhelming for me? Everybody walked in and started talking to me, and I was like, I can't really talk to you right now. It was just too much.
Hey, Steve, can I get the place for us?
Yeah, everybody was talking to people I never met. They were like, hey, I'm doing this and that. I'm like, I really couldn't talk because I'm like, I got to figure out who's in the middle, who's in the back, because then if everybody needs me, can you help me get this? Then we had a DJ, and I knew who the DJ was, but I was like, man, he set up for what, an hour?
Man, yeah.
And I'm like, I get it, but we could have just had a boom box.
The boom, yeah,
and they're good with it. But hey, yeah, the little handheld. Well, but hey, it worked out how it worked out. I think if we ever do it again internally like that, and I do agree, it's probably the best thing to do, because this is the first time it's ever been this cold.
Yeah, it was cold. It was cold.
Yeah, it was pretty cold. Compared to previous years. And I think everybody was happy that they were able to come in, and get inside to get in and out.
But it's gonna be like that regardless, though. You ain't gonna never be able to get everybody in at one time or something, though. So
yeah,
it moved. It moves.
Yeah.
I don't think people stood there, far too long. But I wouldn't stand out there.
I know we did an estimate on 6 minutes a person.
6 minutes a person. Oh, you're talking about
Remember, we had kind of anticipated. We had 5 people checking people in, plus 1 or 2 people handling them what they needed.
Yeah.
We get all 500 people through in about 2 hours. So it came up being about 6 minutes a person. Something like that, from beginning to end. It might have been double, might have been 12. But
12 minutes a person?
No, you're right. It couldn't have been because they got out quicker than we thought. They got an hour and 45 minutes.
Oh yeah, again when the man hours when the manpower started coming, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was even then though. It was like if you had I don't know. To me, it just you got all the people, you got all the stuff lined up right here, and it's almost like it should be easy to just.
I got confused on the table shuffle. They moved the doggone tables like 5 times. They put the long tables out so you can put them up. Then they push them forward some. Then they push them back. I'm like, why are you pushing them forward? You want to minimize the people coming behind the table.
Right.
You're going to stage the turkeys, put them on the table, and if that's what you want to do, or just hand them to the people so they can walk out. The next thing I know, they moved all the tables out of the way. And I'm like, okay, what was that all about? Because then the mob of people just started coming. You could tell who was working and who wasn't working. So I don't know. But it's all good. It's all good. What you guys, who's out there getting ready?
You gotta have organization in that. I mean, like what I was saying Thursday, believe me, I'm a very organized person, right? So I have to have people, at certain stages and stuff. You have to have organization. And I already have my volunteers up front, right? I already counted how many I need.
Right.
They know what they're gonna be doing. We already had those meetings with all my volunteers prior to this. So it's like, okay, this is what you're gonna do. Tell me how many hours you're gonna do. Boom. So that's how you do it. Next time you got to have volunteers, have them up front. Just how many volunteers we need. Sign up for the volunteer and be there.
I think the problem was because I met with Congressman's people, and they said they had all the volunteers and everything. So I'm like, okay, so that's already figured out. Problem was me being the facility, they didn't introduce all the volunteers to me. I mean, it's like if I came to your house and I said I'm gonna throw a party at your house, and I said here I'm gonna have people come do things at your house. As soon as people start coming, you don't know if these are volunteers or if these are people who come to have fun, because you were never introduced to who's working and who's not working.
Yeah, that's why we come early at 11 because so you can meet everybody. Everybody's gonna be setting up their different areas, right? And so you'll be able to meet them at 11 because only one's gonna be there at 11 is those volunteers. Right. And see, that's another thing. That's how we got it. I'm like, I got them like, nope, be here at 11. If you want volunteer, be here. I mean, I don't play because I don't do that on my own job. You got to punch in at a certain time, punch in. I'm just strict about it because it do get crazy because you got people walking in over there volunteer, and they punching. Oh, you don't know nothing. So there has to be some order about people introducing people to their facility. Even at jobs, you got to get a tour. And then somebody facilitating. And what's funny is the people that are actually having the event, they're looking at the facility person like, well, this is your place, right? Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know all these people. You can't expect me to know everything when it's your event. So that was the thing that kind of threw me off because again, there were so many people. People were talking to me and
people would, it was just so much going on. I'm like, I can't even talk on the phone, and because I'm trying to place myself, But yeah, you're right. You have to have a briefing. They got to brief everybody. Like, okay, who's what, where, who's this, that, blah 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 blah, and you work it out like that. Now, the thing for me was I could have easily just sat back and been like, okay, everybody do what they do. Problem with that was there were only me and another person, Willie Burton. We did the walkthrough the day before, and I kind of knew what we were supposed to do. And it was up to Willie to make sure his team knew what they were supposed to do. And I didn't need to figure out, if they were doing it right or wrong. That was not my position. But, hey, you learn, you live, you make it work better, right? Who's that? Who is that? Who we got on iPhone 1? Who is that?
Is that Arnold?
Arnold? No, I don't think that's Arnold. How about you?
The Venus?
Oh, that's Venus on the other line. What you say, Venus?
Hey, DeAndre, give me a call.
That's Arnold, right?
Yeah. Give me a call.
All right, I'll call you.
For sure.
Yeah, we trying to wrap up everything, man.
So
Yeah, you know what? You said something earlier. I want to key in on that because I'm still thinking. Number one, I'm thinking about this freezer idea, man. Listen, I think this freezer thing should be one of the moves that we start trying to act on, man, for real. Because I could foresee us being like the organizations or whatever that have the extra food, they pay the place just a few dollars. It ain't got to be nothing crazy, but like a few dollars to take the extra food. That way the place could, be used that for like rent or something, and for or electricity costs or whatever it's gonna cost to store the food. So it just be like, so they have all this food and because then you got to pay the people that's gonna break this stuff down and put it into boxes and stuff.
Electricity costs.
Yeah, you got to pay the electricity costs. I'm sure grants and stuff could fund that.
But see, this is what I always said about that. If you're putting food out in the open, who's protecting the food to make sure it's safe? Because you got a lot of crazy people out here that just.
It'd be a business. It wouldn't. No, it'd be a business. It wouldn't. It'll be run like a traditional pantry, but you just know you can go get frozen foods and stuff.
I got you.
So you could probably, so
it's managed.
Yeah, it'll be managed. And then you have to have somebody working there because somebody, like, let's say you bring a big tray of spaghetti that was left over from the event, so you bring that to, maybe you get a person $2 or something, whatever the case may be. Again, that goes to like the overhead cost of just having a facility open. But then that person or whoever works there can break it down into smaller little sizes that can then be frozen. And you just slap a date on top of it and say, you know what I mean? We only gonna hold it for the next 3 days.
First in, first out.
And then like with people, for instance, like Barbara and the guys that are working with this homeless thing, Raheem and them, now they have a place where they can come that's already got ready-made food for them if they want to go take it. If nobody's coming to the place, then you got people that will be willing to go out and take it to the places to go. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
yeah, that's true. But the only thing, when I was working at a shelter, the only thing about that, the food has to be like a certified like chef and stuff, like no food from people's houses because of food poisoning.
Okay.
So we couldn't take a lot of food, right?
Okay.
And that's came from a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
And then, I'm sorry, somebody's trying to come. It had to come from a restaurant, right? A caterer, a certified cook. Because it couldn't come from nobody's houses, right? So if you get a restaurant and cater, then they can take the food. But coming from houses, you couldn't so what would you have to do with that is say where it came from and a date, right? So you can keep track of if somebody got food poisoning, right? So restaurants could get food, but a lot of places don't take home cooked food. A lot of places because the liability.
Right. And the reason restaurants get the green light because they get the Board of Health comes through and checks on them periodically.
Exactly.
So there are some checks and balances when you're dealing with a restaurant because they're structured and licensed. But you're right, when you just flat out giving it away, there's no structure. Like for instance, a lot of places will not take furniture. If you try to give furniture to shelters and things, they won't take it because they're afraid of bed bugs. Yeah, they're like, no, we don't need this. We don't want that. Because just imagine if they get one person that gives them furniture that has bed bugs in it, that contaminates the whole facility. And now they have to shut the facility down. So they really can't. They don't want to take chances like that.
Yeah, and like with us, our food for Thanksgiving, we actually have a caterer. I actually have a caterer volunteers that food. It's like no one cooking it, and the caterer actually fixing that food. So I just wanted to make sure that we were we had no issue with food. I had a caterer actually doing the food.
That's a good deal. Good deal. So, what's the anticipated number you think about feeding?
We're trying to feed 100, so we got enough for 100. So until food run out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds like a plan.
So we just trying to make sure everybody have a meal, not like we only have a lot of good freezer. And you know what the problem is? We always reactive instead of proactive. I'm a proactive type of person. Let's get to it before it gets to real bad. And with the economy and groceries so high, that's why I had a good turnout. This economy,
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah.
People are really hurt by the groceries.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they got it's expensive. You know what? And so that was that. The other thing was when you said, young people and children. Young people and the elders. I definitely wanted my niece to meet CB because I thought this was going to be her first time voting, but she actually voted in November. First time voting was November 8th. And she was like, her grandma or auntie said, just vote for all the Democrats. Hey, man. And, that's part and parcel why we don't vote. Because our people just telling us, yeah, just do this. And you're like, wait, whoa, hold on now. Like, it's okay to educate these kids sometimes about who they voting for and why. You know what I mean? Like, so she voted. She just picked whomever. And so I really wanted her to meet CB so that he could hear, from her what she will be looking for. Now, part of it, as I was talking to her when we left, I was like, she don't know what an alderman is. And neither do the rest of the 18-year-olds that she hang out with. But they voted too. Mm-hmm. And so we keep talking about, young people. And it's like, all right, though. Now, some of them are doing their parts. But then what does the elders give back to them? This relationship got to be reciprocal. So if they going to, do their due diligence and go out and vote, like what does that mean for them, especially if their community continues to go in the opposite direction of what they might need? And so I definitely wanted, I wish it was there.
You saying being 18 and knowing your alderman.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, did I know I didn't even know. No, I did not.
I know nothing about none of that.
Was the alderman that came up to our school to get people registered. But I can't even tell you if I voted, who I voted for as alderman, because it wasn't Ed. Ed was in a different area, different ward than where I lived. But all I remember is voting for Harold Washington.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember any of that, so I wasn't involved. But again, it wasn't like my parents was trying to get us to go out during voting day, and they don't know. They don't know. So I mean,
maybe people need to look at the struggles of what it was to vote, because I don't know if you remember when.
No, ain't no identification with that no more. Young people don't identify with that stuff. You talk to Harold Washington, I'm like, what? Okay, and you made some what?
Well, I was thinking more like Nelson Mandela. Because
even further away, because
that was truly an issue. I mean, people were standing in line for days just to vote for him once he became able, got on an opportunity.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing, Felicia?
Yeah, what's up, Felicia?
Okay. Oh my God, you okay?
That's
That was
right.
the era right there. I never see. My mama was in love with that mayor.
Mhm.
Sarah Washington, so he was so lovable, such a lovable mayor. Then after him, it was Mary Jane Sawyer. But yeah, Sarah Washington was such a lovable mayor. That era was just so much full of love. I wish it could be like it was back then. Like I wish it could be that way now or whatever. But I know times change, whatever. But that was really a great moment in history when he was in office. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, there seemed to be a lot of harmony in the city.
What year was that?
83 to 87.
Yeah, early.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, that was before the crack epidemic really hit the community.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Kind of hit in
yeah,
87.
yeah. That was right before. That was right before that. So yeah, that makes sense. That
But
everybody.
but
And then
again,
black people still had this sense of, they had a relationship with the process of voting. Because a lot of people were still coming from, shit, the Voters' Right Act passed in what? Shit, 68?
yeah. Yeah, it was only 20 years.
Yeah, like, damn, hold on. I got to look at that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was. It
yeah,
was not even 20, 15, 20 years almost.
yeah. So, yeah, y'all
But
were still enamored with the process. Like, yeah, we could vote. We could do this. So, y'all was still in that era.
but to be real about it, I don't think people looked at it that way. They looked at it as if we have these inalienable rights and we're utilizing them. I don't think everybody was like walking on thin ice, like, is
Yeah,
this gonna
65.
work? Is this not gonna work? Is this what we're supposed to? I think people went straight in. Once they knew they had these rights, they just went in.
Yeah, but even the gangsters was political, though. The gangsters was political. Look, all the gangsters, all of them, the gangs had structure, they had organizations, and it was about politics. You can't do this without touching in with that person that need to be notified first. Wasn't it Mayor Daley who wanted to go after the gangs, the chiefs, so that he could, insulate himself and build power with them? All right, we gonna give y'all XYZ to help me get to where I need to go.
You talking about Young Man Daily?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's what that's what people that's what I'd have heard on the street is that's how he
Young Man
played it.
Daily. Yeah, probably.
I heard he played it, but I'm just saying so. But they were in tune. Even the gangsters was in tune with the politics. I think it was if I am mistaken, it was Larry Hoover. Might even been Tookie Williams. One of them that said, being a gangster is really standing up for your family, your community, and being politically involved. That's what being a gangster really is. You know what I mean? Now, and when we started all our gangs, they were started for the protection of the community against the police, and they broke down into something different once they figured out how to co-opt us. But them guys was political.
I saw you send me that thing about Coco.
Yeah, you see it on the window?
Yeah, I had to look really close.
Yeah. Yeah, I sent Steve an image of the Black Peace Stone headquarters, and on the window it says sponsored by Coco. And if y'all know what Coco is, it's like one of the oldest organizing organizations on the South Side. What is it? Kenwood.
Kenwood
Oh, I gotta look it up.
Kenwood
something organized community organization.
Yeah.
Coco.
It's Kenwood Oakland Community.
There you go.
Organization.
There you
I
go.
was just at an event last night. I don't mean to interrupt y'all, but I just shouted them out on my page because, man, it was a great event where they had some awesome live entertainment, but also they gave out some scholarships and acknowledged some of their long-time volunteers for the organization. I mean, man, Kenwood, man, yeah, they still doing it over there on that south side.
Wasn't Bishop Brazier a part of that when he started?
I think so.
Yeah.
And they might still kind of have a rapport over there, and because they were like neighbors with TWO. But to go back to what DeAndre was talking about is, I just happened to see an article where it was, well, actually, they hooked up with Operation Push, and they were doing the walks against the violence, the marches against the violence back in the 80s, where I forget the term. Oh my gosh. It just escapes me now. I'm gonna have to mute myself and go pull that article back up where they kind of teamed up with Operation Push that we know was Rainbow Push and TWO, and they were marching in the community against all of the violence that was going on in the community. But yeah, they were very well organized. They still are very well organized.
The TWO was the Woodlawn organization, right?
I'm sorry.
TWO was the Woodlawn organization.
Yes.
I think that's who Bishop Brage was with. TWO.
TWO? Okay.
Yeah, because I think that's considered Woodlawn, right, where their church is at now. I don't think that's Kenwood area. But they all.
Cocoa is more Bronzeville, and TWO is more 63rd.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Cottage Grove.
Right.
East over there.
Yeah, the other side of the let's just say of Hyde Park. It seems like, but no, they were very strong organizations. Just as we had. We had very strong organizations in the early 70s. With NAO, Northeast Austin organizations, SAC, South Austin Community Coalition Council, and NAC, Northwest Austin, and Mid Austin Steering Committee. They were all under one big umbrella when they started out in the early 70s, 72, 71, 72. But it's an evolutionary thing. So we were talking yesterday, so I don't know who said it, but they said that, things are changing and the communities are changing, from black to Hispanic to even white. And it's just kind of strange when you hear and look at things, but when you think about it, before we came, 50 years before that, it was white.
Yeah. Italians, Jewish, Polish.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing.
Eastern Europeans, a lot of Eastern Europeans. So, probably 50 years. Black started moving into Austin around, 60 something?
Yeah. But going back to, how we need to work together. I mean, we at the point now. We really at the point. And I'm going to keep stressing this through this whole run that I run. I don't care if nobody vote for me. But I want my elders to start talking about us young folks that are out here doing our thing. We need y'all to elevate us to y'all, peers, that because we know who out here doing the voting. Okay. But until younger people see younger people, they ain't going to get involved. It ain't going to happen. So we at a precipice in time where we need elders to start saying our names. If you're rocking with us, we need y'all to be public with the support now. We at that space. We got to start saying this is the young guy that I believe is the guy. He is a good person. She is a good woman. And they are the next ones that are fit to lead this community. I do understand and I recognize we are in a space because I'm around a lot of elders now who's saying it. Man, y'all got to take over. I need y'all to do this and that and lead some of this. But then to me, when it comes towards this political thing, I'm not hearing enough of that though. Saying it in that space. And that space is where it's most needed at. We need a lot of creativity, innovation, and some newness, a breath of fresh air, so to speak, in these spaces that we operate in. Because young people bring young people. You know what I mean? If you want to keep attracting what we got, then we're going to keep doing what we got. But we need young people that's already out here doing it. So I'm going to be a huge thorn in the side of all the elders and keep talking about younger people until I start hearing our names being said in the way that they need to. And I'm not saying that off of the strength. I'm saying it because we're doing the work. It's a lot of us that's doing the work, and we need that recognition.
So what do we say to that? Any comments?
Have y'all thought about? I'm sorry. Have y'all thought of having a town hall that y'all have the elders in it with young people so they could have some kind of council that they can meet up and some of the elder leaders meet up with younger people to see how they maneuver that. To have a conversation. They're not talking to one another. They're not in a room together. You know what I'm saying? You want that to happen, but they're not in the same room. And y'all need to have this that they can be in a room together to have that honest conversation. It really needs to happen. Because they're not moving the same way. So they need to be in one room at one time, have something, a meet and greet or something that they can be in the same room and have that conversation.
You know what's funny?
Talk about DeAndre.
I was thinking about what you said. The last time I seen young and old in the same room in a town hall setting was when they start talking about the cannabis laws and creating cannabis centers. I saw a lot of young people coming to those meetings, and they, of course, the older people were there because they were concerned on how it would affect their lives if indeed they didn't. They don't deal with cannabis or whatever. But that was the last time I saw old and young in the same forum. Somebody else has something to say? Someone else?
Well, I was just going to suggest here is that, first of all, they're not going to give y'all power.
Yeah.
Respect the power
Respect.
is earned.
Respect.
And you got it, and then you got to keep working at it. They're not going to validate. And I say they, I'm in that they category. But I tell you what I'm proud to just, hey, I'm going to give y'all an exclusive here. I am very excited about the fact that I was at a meeting, a community meeting on Saturday, and we left out of that meeting talking about doing a community forum centered around the ECTS ordinance and how important it is that we've got community folks, aka young folks that are running.
Yeah, all young people in those races. Yeah. It's all younger people.
Sorry?
I say it's all younger people in those races. The majority of people are running are younger.
That's
overwhelming
awesome.
majority. Yeah,
But
overwhelming.
And what we're going to do as a community, because this is not about a name, this is community. We're going to host a forum to say, first of all, community neighbors, come and hear about this ordinance, and then come and see and hear from the folks that are out here running. Because I assume most of y'all will be filing all next week.
Yeah.
Your petitions to look and see who's working, trying to get on this council to make sure that your community, your block is safe. It's all about just continuing to establish yourself. Because trust me, I think that our millennials, our Gen Zs, y'all, they've already made a statement at the ballot this midterm. I mean, you all validated so much of what we said and what we have worked on. The pundits said, y'all are questionable. But y'all said no to the lies. You all said we are here. You all said here are our issues, and let's move forward. So you all have already laid the groundwork, It's just continue to build on it. And guess what? If folks are not interested in getting on the train ain't gonna stop. It's gonna keep moving. And that's what I like about it is that no, we don't determine if you continue to move or how fast your local movement goes. What we determine is we say, listen, we're gonna bring our knowledge and we're gonna join in with you because you're right. You're gonna bring more people into that room. You're gonna bring more folks to that table, and that's what we need. That's
right.
That's the elephant in the room, the missing element, and I love it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so I get this. I do get the idea that that the power dynamic, it won't be. It's not a baton thing. It's like we almost got to wrestle in a way. But I think like does that create some of the issues that exist intergenerationally, though, because on one side we're like, oh, how much preparing do we need to do for y'all to be like, all right, yeah, this is it right here, because our community suffers from a lack of succession planning. Number one, nobody around here got a succession plan. All of the organizations that exist are old, period. And that is because nobody is looking for youth leadership, really raising them up from pups and then go ahead and passing it on. Instead, it's almost like you said, we got to wrestle it away. But it's like, I don't want to do all of that. I'm already putting the work out. Like, if I'm going to do all of that, I should just go start my own stuff. So now we butting heads because I want to do my own thing. I wanted to do it right here, but you didn't allow me to do it right here. So now I got to do my own thing. And that creates dissension. And it's like, at what point do we get away from things like that and ideas like that? And it becomes more of like, yo, we have to prepare our community because we need succession planning. Like, we need people that's going to take over.
I want to say you nailed it. I mean, I can't see. I can't. I mean, you nailed it, and it is for folks to be able to say, listen, brother, you right on the mark, right there on point,
Yep.
And then go from there, not try to, analyze everything you just expressed.
Yeah.
I can't touch it.
Okay.
But yeah, word.
Yeah. Yeah. But I feel like that is part, because when I look around at all of the organizations, not some of them, all of them, it's like, come on, y'all, what are we gonna do? My auntie down there at the Senior Satellite Center. She's been running SAC for a long time, and she's like, nephew, I'm about ready, and I might look to you to go and pass this thing. Hey, hold on, auntie, I'm just hearing about this today. Like, shit, wait a minute. Like, yeah, I've been grown for a long time now. Where you been at? Like, oh my God, And so it's like, man, it's like it's one of those things where it's like oh, now I'm ready. And now it's like, oh, damn. Now, and see what keeps happening consistently is this. Now I'm ready, and then
because they're tired.
Right, because you exhausted now.
Right.
I can no longer go.
And you
here now now I got to deal with it from the position that what you left it.
You can't run beside me to show me which way to run.
That's why I don't know nothing about what's going on. All of this stuff happened before I got here. What did they say when they I got you right after this. So J. Cole had a line where he was talking about Obama. He said in his rap, he said they gave that black man the keys to the boat and they tell him that the ship was sinking. That is what it's like to turn over power in our community. Mm-hmm. You wait until the boat is sinking. Oh, I can't do this no more. I need a young person with some energy. You pass it over to any who shot John, because that's what we keep getting. Mm-hmm. And then when that thing capsized, everybody looking at this guy, and you're like, "Come on, man, that's the problem."
I was gonna say the average age of the people at SAC is 100.
Man.
It's about 199, 95. And wow, now I think about it, I don't know anybody down there that they've had. Miss Drummond's 101, Miss Root is, not Barbara, what's her name? Watkins. I forgot her name. She's down there. Teresa's not with him 100%. Bob Andrasic passed 2-3 years ago. Mr. Bailey passed over 15 years ago. He used to be president. So yeah, I mean it's an evolutionary thing where there's been no true succession.
Yeah.
I remember when NXT, when Miss Fan said to me, she said, Steve, we got to start doing stuff for the young people in the community. This is around about 90. 98, 96, 97, 98. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, All these years, we never thought about the young people in the community. We thought about the seniors, we thought about the middle-aged people. And I said, what do you mean? We need programs for young people. At that time, she got on board. We started a program called Kids House. We started a program called Safe Haven.
Mm-hmm.
And it was held out at Austin High School, where we had different things like horticulture, martial arts, homework assistance. We had basketball. We had some other programs in there. But it was to get young people together through an organization so that they can, in the community.
Right.
And you know what's funny? They're like that poster right behind you.
Right.
That poster is about 20-something years old.
Right.
That was done by one of the young people back in the late 90s. And there are young people still that come through the community today. It's like, man, we used to be over there with the, with the organizing issues and this, and they remember those things.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe as they become parents themselves, they start to, give back a little bit. It's just, when you say reach out to the younger people, think about it. If you're between the ages of 16 and 26, more likely you're in school.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not in school, you're probably working. If you're working, you're trying to take care of your own life.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're that age, it's all about being selfish.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, you're not going to get that kind of, the reason I came to NAC was out of selfish act. I was 25, 26 years old. I'm like, I just need to get a place. I bought a place through the organization because they had the first-time homebuyers initiative, direct sales program. Me and my wife, they asked us, they did a little background thing on us. They helped us get a loan. They helped, to find a place to get a loan. They showed us some property. We bought the property. Then when I got in it, I'm like, man, this is a lot of responsibility. Who do I talk to about garbage cans? Who do I talk to, about the new neighbors I'm meeting? Who do I talk to about things in the community? And that's how I got involved, because it was all about me.
Right.
How do I get my problem solved? And then they were like, you ask a lot of questions and you constantly down here. Won't you join the board?
Mm-hmm.
After about a year or so.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I was still the youngest person on the board, but it was about me until it became bigger than that when I saw that other people in the community have the same concerns, if not more. And how do we help each other? How do we help each other? That was the key.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard when you're young not to have selfish intents, because you don't. What else do you have? You don't have nobody. You can't help yourself.
Right.
You don't have nobody else helping. You're just getting out on your own.
Right. That's understandable. But so everything not for everybody. That's number one. So I get that. There's just some people that are not going to be interested in community organizing or, doing for community in general.
They just can't.
Yeah. But well, like my brothers don't care for none of this that I do. They might come out and support some of the stuff that I'm involved in, but they like, bro, that's a dead end. Black people aren't going to be together. They don't care, all these little things that my brothers say, And so I got a heart for this. So this is where I choose to spend my time. But not everybody feels the same way, and that's okay, But what we have to do though is for those young people, because there are right now some teens, some 20s, some young 30s that are doing things in the community that need to be spotlighted and need to be raised up in a way where they can be the next stewards of these organizations, because they are already there. You ain't got to go find them, because they are already doing it. But nobody is trying to bring them and let me show you how to do X, Y, Z, because again, like Mary said, we got to wrestle the power away. I'm not listen, when I went to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's For Justice of Elders, which was the 20-year anniversary of Million Man March, he said, I need 100,000 black men that's going to be in their communities, that's going to love on some black women, that's going to love on their other brothers, even in spite of the brothers not loving them back, that would also be willing to die for their community be in a better position. I was like, I'm ready for that. So I started getting involved in politics and everything else with the mindset that if I get to a spot where I actually change things, I will be a target. Because I still think, even in today's society, black men that make a decision to stand up for their community and try to right the wrongs of the past are targets and are worth assassination because they still don't want to see us in a better position. And I made that decision. But when I started getting into community, I was like, ain't no way in hell am I going to die for a community that is not going to support better for themselves. I would have never thought that our community is actually this way. And I would have thought that it needed protecting and building. And no, we need much more than that. We need to figure out how we can be a we and not a me. And that's what the biggest issue is. And for me, having decided that I would be willing to lose my life over us, I'm like, this ain't that.
But
I can fight the white man, but I don't want to fight the black man too. That's too much stress.
No, but that's the problem is this. Again, when you're young, you're struggling. And when you struggle, guess what? You ain't trying to help the guy over there drowning next to you. You're trying to grab the life for yourself. And that's the problem. Like you just said, we don't have structures in place that say, go from A, now you're at B, go to C.
Right.
And I mean, I was just reflecting back on my life. And I was just telling my daughter this. I said, don't never misunderstand how the importance of family, because family is the structure.
For sure.
Don't feel you got to be overgrown because you think you need to be overgrown. Because at the end of the day, everybody needs support, love, help, guidance, direction, all of that. I don't care what age you at, you're going to need some of it. And don't think that you have to be considered a grown-up because you don't need support and all those other things. Man, look, I think I said this to you. That when it comes to marriages, I think arranged marriages work and last longer than any others because the people that put them together, the couple always relies on those outside forces. Well, you guys told us to do this. So we can go back to them if we got problems. We can go back to them if we got issues. You the one put us here. They don't just say, oh, we're done with it because the people that put us here messed up. No, they go back to the source. And then the source helps them through it. And I see what you're saying. We do need to have those structures. But the organizations are the structure, but I don't think they're actually creating an actual roadmap. I think the younger people they're more technologically savvy. They're used to you looking at things from, applications and structures. Why can't we have something, an application? Okay, when you finish high school, if you're not going to go to college, you're not going to go to trade school, it's just going to work. How long would it take for you to get your own apartment, your own house, or whatever? But what do you really want to do? Or do you just want to live in a car? What are the options? No one ever explains those options. We always talk about, when we're in high school, they never teach us how to balance a bank account, a checkbook. They never teach us this and that. They never teach us about taxes. No.
Well, yeah, I don't believe it's for the school to do, though. It's for the home to do. And if it ain't for home to do, then it's for community to do.
Right. We need to get the message out there. These are things you need to know. You need to have in your arsenal.
Yeah.
An adult.
You know what? I just wanted to add to y'all's conversation. Number one, I just got to say, because I'm part of that elder group, but with age comes wisdom and knowledge. I'll say that. But also, I would say this here: there's absolutely nothing wrong with anybody walking in their boldness. I think that it's okay for young people to toot their own horn in the sense of create it, stand in it, and acknowledge it. And guess what? You'll be surprised at the support that will come out of it. There is absolutely nothing wrong with, just expressing the confidence and showing it to us, the community. Because, just don't wait. Fix the problem. Fix it.
Yeah. Yeah.
and watch them support you,
Yeah.
right, and stuff. But
Hear
also
that.
what we can do, because I mean, what folks like Miss Drummond can do is give us all that wisdom and knowledge. You know, sit down, baby. Let me just tell you something. I like what I'm hearing, but try this here or add that
Yeah.
to it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what our elders, because I still have some too, will bring to the whole conversation and stuff. Because we can continue to learn and grow this. Because you know, I'll never Miss Fan, you know, she's more than just a room over there at Loretta Hospital. She's a woman
Mhm.
that has made an impression upon the Austin Northwest Austin community
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff. So it's more than just that room over there. But we should utilize that room more, you know. And
It's a,
stuff.
hello. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so walk in it, and don't be ashamed about it, because I do it.
Right. DeAndre had a question. Go ahead, DeAndre.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a room in named after Miss Fan. Didn't know nothing about it.
There's a conference room. It's not a. It's actually like a event space
Yeah, where's that at?
in Loretto.
You said Loretto?
You ever
Oh,
see
okay.
that the area when you're getting off the expressway heading west? It's got all the glass around it. When you're looking for,
I'm about to look out. You know, damn, I live right down there, so I'm gonna look
upstairs.
at it.
It's like on the second, third floor or something. I don't know. But yeah, there is a Loretta Span. There are quite a few things that are named after Miss Span in the community.
Yeah, it is. I know about the home, the rehabilitation homes.
Right.
Yeah. Then she got this street right here.
The street.
Say that down there,
There's
Loretto.
something else. I can't think of it. It's
And y'all know we have to remind people of our heroes and our sheroes.
No question.
You know, I mean, that's why I tell them, just walk in it and make it happen. You know,
Yeah.
show us. I mean, all we can do is, you know, begrudgingly acknowledge, like, man, that was cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because we had, like I said, we had about 500 plus people through here yesterday, and somebody pulled me to the side and they were like, "Steve, you got pictures of Harold Washington, you got pictures of Miss Span and Barack Obama. Most people kind of know those other people, but you should have the names underneath those pictures so people know who they are." And I'm like, yeah, we need the names and probably with a little more information, like what they were doing. So I'm like, yeah, you're right. How would they know?
But also, and you know who else? See, we gotta remember Midwest Community Council, Nancy Jefferson. They was killing it back in the day.
Yeah,
Nancy Jefferson would organize and come to events with a brown bag in her hand, DeAndre.
Yeah.
Guess what? Bunch of money be in that bag. But that's how she rolled.
Mm-hmm.
That's how she rolled, and I still respect that to this day. There's a lot of folks that have done a lot of good things. In our community.
And they were all, and that was weird. That's what you said, that they were all tied together. Nancy Jefferson, Miss Span, what's her name? Mary Volpe up at NAO. They all were, and Miss Drummond. Miss Drummond was always Miss Drummond.
Yep.
You know, they were all tied. It was always a thing with the organizations that there was no such thing as trespassing into their area, because we would always make the call. And we're gonna be down by you guys. Are you guys in with us on this action? And let you know what we're doing and where we at. It was always the call me.
You know, that's interesting you bring that up. I've been doing some one-on-ones with sergeants this past week of the different police districts that I work with. And you know, two of the biggest concerns that they had as we're talking about community organizations is one, when they take some of these individuals to the resources, the lack of follow-up, they said the lack of follow-up is a very big issue to them. And then they said the other thing is the lack of communication between the organizations are a big issue too. So when as we talking about, you know, what exists in terms of leadership, that's some of the problem too. That some of these organizations just ain't doing what they supposed to do the right way. It seemed like
they organized.
Facts. It seemed like back in the day where these organizations were just birthed it. Like they were making major things happen, and I'm sure they were. I'm not saying.
And there was a relationship. There were
Right.
relationships.
Yeah, that's what you just said. That's what made me think of it, because you said that they called them and said, "Hey, we on our way. Can we get y'all support?"
I've seen it. I've seen it happen. Miss Span. I mean, I wouldn't know these other organizations unless Miss Span didn't take me by the hand. It's like, look, I need you to know this person. I need to know what they're doing. I want them to know you. I want them to know what you're doing. And we built those relationships like that. Unfortunately, there are some organizations that came out of NAC. They just never turned back around and said, "Hey, we still need to keep a relationship." I mean, well, look. Let's start with this. We got Cora Williams on the line. Cora is part of the Austin Green team. We got Jolene. Jolene, you still there? She's part of the Austin Green team. The Austin Green team was started out of Northwest Austin Council. So we still keep relationships with those that, how do we say, that were seeded together or grew together. We still keep those relationships. I mean, even with SAC, SAC is the last one. There's no more Mid Austin. There's no more Northeast Austin. But I talked to Ms. Drummond a week ago, and prior to that, probably a month. So we keep in contact. We try to figure out what's going on and what's needed. But they are probably the oldest as far as age group.
Yeah,
that's out here.
Still working.
101. You still working.
Well, they say you stop moving, that's when you die. So I'm not against that. I'm totally not against somebody continuing to work while they got breath in their body. Because
well, this is what we have to do, and we should take a charge on this. Going into the new year, since we know the mindset of younger people, they're usually in struggle mode. Now, you ain't gonna find too many young people. Well, maybe I'm wrong now, because you do got a lot of young people that's just on chill mode too. It's like, mama gonna get it, mama got to take care of, daddy got to take care of. We ain't got to. Those are the ones we really need to be reaching, because we know they have the time. We just need to funnel it, channel it, motivate it, mold it. But how do we get those that are on struggle mode involved? Because usually the ones that are on struggle mode, those are the workers. Those are the ones that got some get up and go with them. I was just sitting there thinking about Chantel. Chantel out there hustling.
Oh yeah, Chantel be working.
She doing her things.
Yes,
she working here, she working there, she doing her things.
Running cross crunchy and be like that.
But I mean, here's a person that can be thoroughly entrenched in the community.
Yeah.
But what do you do when that person's trying to be all they can be for themselves? Do you pull?
I think we have to just kind of, I'm not sure how you say it, but while we do respect the fact that people, want to chase, chase the bag, as they say.
Yeah.
Do all that. There has to be a balance, Steve. You got to chase, democracy, community, and your well-being, rights, and your obligation to the community, your block as well.
Yeah.
It's not just about the almighty dollar or getting that next sneaker or it's about more than pickpocketing. It's about our neighbors, our community. That's what makes the balance there, and that's what's really going to keep us all moving forward. I'm not saying that every young person is just only single focused, but I'm saying they can do better in that area in terms of being balanced in how you and their community involvement and stuff. Because to drive the Beamer or the Lexus and you ain't got a garage to put it in, I don't know. To have
that's true.
jobs to pay for it, when actually you're young enough to go and get that paper because that's going to help you, you know, kind of sustain that your lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's, like I said, I don't know how you say that or how we encourage it, but just it's a balance that they need to kind of learn that it is important to success, just a balance. And who represents us, who's making decisions for us. But I think the idea they in some kind of way there are folks that are in office that look like there's an age relation balance. No, I think 100%. So, you know, some folks we got somebody's got to break through that mold and get you know in that where they have that platform now. You know, they just elected a young dude to the United States Congress. So
Yeah,
that's
20.
that we need to continue.
What about 26?
By the respect that will get folks like excited and
Young Latino too.
I think
Hispanic. It's a Hispanic. Yep.
Black Hispanic.
He's black and Hispanic. No, that man.
The guy outside look black. Did he have like a little beard?
It's a Hispanic. That's a young Hispanic man.
What's his name?
Well, I'm gonna look him up right now.
I thought it was black or something.
I don't remember his name, but just.
But we have some young people. We got young people though. We got a cat in Detroit.
Gen Z. And that's not a whole lot of expectations on them.
Yeah.
Facts.
Facts.
They all different.
Facts.
And we have to accept that, but at the same time, you know, we're just saying, yeah, we want to give an opportunity to help us move us all in the forward direction. So there is some expectation, you know, of the leadership and stuff. I hope that once y'all get elected to the EPPS council, because I think that would be a great thing across the city to see just, you know, some folks that are not quite 30 or not quite 46
Right.
on these councils in these districts talking about how they feel. And again, they don't use all the words we like. They may say good, or they may say hold up, or they, you know, that's okay. Because it's not how you say, it's what you say. I'm gonna be quiet.
Yeah, no.
Oh, it's all good. It's great. I was thinking if we had 12 young people and we got one of them to do some volunteer work once a month, just once a month, just imagine how much we would have, how much more we can get done with each organization. You get just 12. You say, look, maybe we just tell them you got to do it twice a year. Each of the 12.
Oh yeah, maybe he is black and Mexican. His name Maxwell Alejandro Frost.
You just see the picture. Did it say how old?
Yeah, he's
He's 25. No?
No, I don't say how old he is.
But yeah, I mean, think about that. If we could just get them to donate their time or talent or perspective, you know, sometimes it's just getting the perspective. What are you thinking? Go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say the deal is, Steve, is that it's a relationship. It's an understanding where you have to ideas to the table, but know that we you know, there's a bar and an expectation of just like what you said, volunteer twice a month and bring some more people. I mean, you know, bring your youth and bring that to the table, but know that we all we're working and we're expecting some things from everybody at the table. You know?
Yeah. He's Puerto Rican and Haitian. Mom's Puerto Rican, father's Haitian.
He was what, 27, you said?
He was born 97, whatever that is.
97, he'd be 25.
Yeah. 25, yep.
But you know what, even though, and that's cool, and that's exciting, that he's there, there's a pecking order even with that.
Yeah, it is, yep.
It's gonna take a minute, you
Yeah.
know, to get a committee,
Yeah.
all that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It is what it is, right?
Yeah, man, I think that is the part that even us as young folks that's looking to get elected, we gotta understand that. And when we get in those positions, we are going to have to deal with that too. You know, nothing from the ground level to the roof is going to be given.
This guy's out of Florida, right?
Yeah.
That's even something totally different there to think about. He came out of Florida.
Yeah.
But the southern part of Florida is totally different from the northern part of Florida. It's
Same
here.
Well, no, the northern part of Illinois different from the southern part.
Yeah, but when you go to Florida, the south is the more progressive.
Yeah.
And the north is the least.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a strange phenomenon there. The country's flipped upside down in so many words. But no, we definitely can look at who have identified 12. And first of all, what do we consider as young people? Anybody younger than young, I guess, younger than old.
Yeah, right. I think I don't know, because I always consider a young person to be probably like 28 and up. You know, I think kind of what Mary was saying. Anybody kind of younger than that, man, they still got some time to figure it out. They really kind of develop themselves as a young adult. You know what I mean? I don't know. And if they make that decision, like Corey, you know what I mean? We talking about having somebody that look like somebody. Like, look at this young man right here. This young man want to run for all of me. He got you know what I mean? He got blonde hair. Now, if he was to get elected to be on that city council, it's gonna be a lot of people like, what? Mm-hmm. I can have blonde dreads sitting in city council. His folks gonna be like, oh no, that's on me. I'm next up. Mm-hmm. So you know that does matter. They always say representation matter. You know, so yeah, man. But you know, when you see some of these like him, you know, that's trying to get in these circles, that is dedicated to the community. Them the type of people you see him. Oh yeah, come on. Let me put you where you need to be. You know, it was similar when I ran the first time I ran for alderman. I was noticed because I did the 5K that year, and I created a shirt, my own jersey, so to speak, and I had 37 on it, and over the top I put the next. And then I put alderman of, you know what I mean, the 37th ward. And as I was running, you know, and that's huge on my back. And people like, oh, that's how you coming? You bold like that? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have to, listen, I'm here. I'm serious about this. You got to take me serious. And Willie Burton was like, so what's up, young brother? So that's how you coming with it? That's how you going to let everybody know? Yeah. You know, so we got man, who are you, man? I'm DeAndre Rudis. Get used to it. So all right, man, let me go ahead and take you over here where you could be, you know what I mean? Because we need you. We need that energy there. That way put me in tune with the coalition, you know what I mean? And then I ultimately, Steve, you're like, stick with this guy right here. He going to get you right. So what I'm saying is when we see that, if I was 20, I don't even know. I was 20-something.
26, 27.
Right. And then, you know, now me, I'm not a person who, like, none of this process I'm going through with trying to get through and build, all fine to me. I've never been a person who sought to do things for money, nor like recognition and all of that. Like, this is stuff that I want to do. You know what I mean? This is stuff that I know that I'm supposed to be doing because I wouldn't be doing it otherwise. Like, I truly feel led, so to speak, and I walk the path that's before me. And so, and I'm patient enough to understand that the world does not bend to my whim unless I'm really out here causing havoc. That's the only time you're gonna get a lot of attention. I'm moving in a different space. You know what I mean? Now, the positive space is very slow moving. If I was moving in a negative direction, then the energy would be a lot different and I get a lot more notoriety. That's why these kids do what they do, because you get attention a lot faster. It would take me 10 years at minimum of doing positivity for somebody to finally give me a trophy for it. And that's just the truth. So I'm okay with that, though, because I've never been that person. But when I met him, Willie, hey, you got to go over here with these guys, start going with Steve. We get with Butch. I start going out, and I just never stopped. But there's other guys like me out here doing the same thing. So the question is, where's the rest of the Willie Burtons that's saying, nah, you need to be over here. These guys got a thing or two they can teach you if this is really what you want to get into. But also being able to, as me now, I'm the youngest senior. You feel me? So now I'm able to be like, all right, let me put you on game on. Now I can help you get to where I was at faster than me, so that you can help the next person get there faster than you, and we're gonna keep passing it down in that way. You know what I mean? Like, cause that's what type of time I'm on. And that's what we need to do. Like, we don't have to take anybody away from what they want to do. I invite my brothers and them to all the stuff I'm involved in. That's not what they want to do. I'm okay. Just try to invite you to the next one. Then maybe you show up, maybe you don't. And then I keep going. But for the guys that's always showing up, we gotta be like, man, come. We see you, and we're gonna pull you in. Because then what happens is the people that's been steadily showing up, they're gonna be like, bro, I done showed up too many times. Ain't nobody took notice of me, so I'm gone now. Then you lose that. You know what I mean? That's what keep happening time and time again.
Just like the young man Dooley, he came now, mind you, Congressman Davis was giving out turkeys in conjunction with Gerard and CB. Young man Dooley showed up. He saw me. He was like, Steve, can I come in? I'm like, yeah, you can come in. We ain't discriminating. I'm like, you want turkey or whatever? You got somebody? He was like, well, I don't know. I'm like, look, you running for office, but guess what? You are part of the community. We're not gonna, kick you to the curb because you're running against people that we maybe promoting or working with. But nevertheless, you are part of the community. And he understood that. And I said, yeah, you can come in this way. He came in and talked to the congressman and DeAndre. I said, DeAndre in there. Now that was funny though, because the minute I said DeAndre was in there, he was like, oh, okay. He was ready to go. But he felt a little weird about it, I'm like, it's not like that.
But see, you got to think too. Us being young, we foolish. I showed up to everything Emma was doing when I went against her. It didn't matter to me because I didn't look at it the same way. I'm like, man, it's community. Like, yeah, so what? We at odds, so to speak. And you the alderman and I'm the challenger, but I'm still community though.
Right.
Like, I don't. Is it a secret what y'all got going on here? And I think that endeared to her a bit. You know what I mean? And the only reason that Emma isn't my mentor, so to speak, in terms of politics is because she just didn't like the way I performed some of the things. You know what I mean? Like in terms of attacking it. And I get that, and that's okay. And again, I understand the game that I'm playing, so it doesn't, and so that's ATM now to me. It's cool, but. That's the same thing with Dooley showing up to everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
we would be
because it's community though.
We would be foolish to build a wall around.
Yeah, you shouldn't. I don't understand why we do it the same. Why again? I would never understand the reason why we do politics the way we do them. Because to me, we continue to do things the way that they were taught to us instead of reinventing our own system. Black people should not get in politics to be enemies or to be attacking one another, doing all of the mechanisms that other people utilize, because we didn't come from that.
Right.
Like in Africa, tribes worked together, until they didn't.
Until they didn't.
I mean, we love Wakanda forever. Go look at Wakanda forever. There's one king in all of these different tribes, but when the king say, all right, y'all, we got to link against this outside threat, they link it. But otherwise, they're going to go, and that's how it's supposed to be for us. But we keep allowing the systems that have been in place to be the thing that's how we move in our own communities amongst one another. And it's like, I get it. I get conditioning. I'm a psychologist. I get programming. But why do we got to keep subscribing to the same mechanisms of other people? This ain't us. This ain't natural. We don't have to move like that.
We'll divide down. We'll divide and divide and divide until we ain't got nothing else to divide. And we're standing there on a pebble. We ain't even got no land to stand on no more. We didn't divide things so much.
Right.
But you're right. It's more to bring together than it is to separate. And we need to look at how we're going to keep that togetherness going.
Well, so Crystal, You know, she convened that meeting that we did on Tuesday. I was able to stop by for a little bit before I came over to the turkey. Crystal Gardner.
Oh, okay.
And so she's the associate director, associate political director for, I think it's United Working Families. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mary. But so now she has the ability to really organize the community around, you know, the civic engagement component and politics in general. And so, you know, that's one thing that we need to be able to. We gotta get behind stuff like that. Like her movement is trying to really get us more organized so that we can be effective in numbers. So when we have opportunities like these, especially from somebody that comes from here, we got to be able to start to get behind those type of things. That's the only way that we're gonna be able to show some type of togetherness and unity amongst one another is to support the things that's coming, especially if they hear. Athena Williams, another person. Now she may work in Oak Park or whatever, but she's from Austin. So we got to be able to support some of these things that she's doing, even though again it's an outside
I
organization.
talked to her the other day. She wants to come on the show. I told her to come on this weekend, but she said she wanted to come on.
Yeah, she got to. She can come. Yeah, for sure.
But you're absolutely right. How do we integrate?
Yeah.
How do we integrate what we have? Make you was talking about Crystal. I remember when we first hooked up with Crystal, she was like, I ain't never been out here organizing like this. Remember we went up and down the block when we were doing the 40 blocks and she came with us?
She did?
Yeah, you remember one of the first houses we went to was Dwayne Trust.
True indeed.
She was
Facts.
going door to door.
Facts.
She was like, I ain't never been out here like this. Like, you know, you got to build these relationships.
Yeah.
I remember when she was working against the union, and I took me and Mama Cat, we went over there and helped her out with support, like boycotting against the union. But you know, she's got it in her where she wants to develop that organizing, internal person.
Yeah, and as I said, you know, and I was telling her before I had to leave the meeting, you know, and I said this on our show too, that's something that I'm really looking forward to doing within the next year or so after some of these other things come off my plate is figure out how do we get to a space where we're no longer telling or allowing people to come to our community and tell us what they're going to do for us. We're going to tell them what we need. You know, that's ultimately the reason why we need to be more organized, the reason why we got to get all of the different voices together so that when it comes to transforming the community, it isn't a slow process that it has taken so far, that we can move a lot further because we need numbers. Anytime numbers are represented, people go, oh yeah, they're about something. Go in and get what they want. Get them what they want because they're going to make sure we get what we need. You know what I'm saying? They got to be a one hand washes the other thing. You know?
Right. You know what? You said it, but I think Butch Campbell said it best to me. When I was running at 15, I reached out to Butch because I knew Butch was a political force. You know, he worked with all of them, you know, Hale Washington, Danny, Gus Savage, a whole bunch of guys he worked. Ed Smith. And I said, Butch, come help me run my campaign. He's like, Steve, I'm in California right now, but guess what? When I get back, I want to talk to you about a process and the program I'm looking at putting out there. And he said, but I'm going to tell you now, we shouldn't even look at politics or any of that because we need to build numbers. And he kept saying that to me. We need to build numbers. And I was like, man, we could build numbers to do what we're doing, you know? But he was in his mind, he was like, no, build the numbers first. And then we can go after the things we want. And he's right.
Yeah.
He's right.
Yeah.
That's why when you see a guy like Dooley, you know, you gotta embrace, man. You gotta embrace because you know, we know his aspirations.
See, what's the sister's name she has? But she had a relationship with Sunset. You know, I see her face. I can't think of her name. She was always the community point person in terms of just making sure, because Nashville and Sunset were just, they were huge supporters of the community.
You're talking about, you're not talking about Carol Hall.
I think I am kind of
Older woman?
Like a half pint?
Yeah, older woman.
Yeah,
that was Miss Hall. Yeah, you know she passed, right?
Like her, that man, she was just genuine, and I think we just got to keep working. Andre.
Oh yeah.
Moving forward,
of course, yeah.
You remember Miss Hall, right?
Just get on the train, and I think that I'm excited about just the community putting together the ECTS community forum, and I think we're going to try to do it over at the Austin Library.
Okay.
So utilize our facilities and bring y'all in and just talk about how this public safety opportunity is right here. Thanks to Frank Chapman and Desmond Yancey, and there's some sisters on that are part of that whole GAFA piece that just stood tall in the wall to say, no, we need community to be involved in this and grow. And then, a lot of folks like me started listening to what they were saying and then realized, like, wait, this does make sense. Hold on. And here we are. We're about to elect 3 representatives from each district, right? But guys, and ladies, it is 14 people running. And is it 15 or 25, DeAndre?
Wait, what?
No, not 25.
Not 14, but 7 candidates.
Oh, I'm about to say, I'm like, you don't know some people. I don't know. Yeah, it's about 7 of us, yeah. Maybe 8.
And we need to know that because that's important. It's just, I don't even want to preach to the choir. I'm just so excited about us planning to do this forum.
Yeah.
Because, like Deanna said, you don't even know who some of them people are. But I know some names because I've seen them and I've crossed paths with them throughout the community doing stuff, and that matters.
Yeah, that matters.
I can see it. I can see if I see Barry's on the call. I don't remember Barry's last name, but there are certain people. If I saw Felicia Williams' name, or if I saw, that I would be kind of comfortable with. But I see a name, I don't know your face.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a little uneasy about that and stuff because again, we don't want people from the outside trying to tell us how we can make our community safe because other folks with other intentions have said we need y'all on these boards because we ain't got time for all of this nonsense, but it's realness that may come from real people that
And those positions are gonna be interesting too because they could take the shape of it is going to take the shape of the individuals that's involved. So if you have some heavily pro-police individuals on those councils, what does that look like? If you have heavily we're not pro against, no, it's against, but what's the word? Like short version. What's it? Like pro-police and then not against. Anyway.
It'll come to me.
Yeah. I always get lost with that one. So you got have some people that's against the police, and then what is that? Anti. There you go. No, that's the word. So anti-police, pro-police, anti-police. Got a whole group of people anti-police. So then, what does that look like? And then you can have some people. Hopefully, what I would like to see is a mix of individuals that's squarely in the middle. Because I have, for example, myself, I have situations dealing with police where, and I mentioned it when I was, young, either hanging out with family and getting stopped thrown up on the wall, pockets padded and all of that. Like, what y'all on? To my twin brother getting beat up on a police car because we was running from gunshots, But then I also have, now developed relationships with officers and can see the different side of the human side of being an officer, as well as understanding and having other, and so what that does is make me more rounded and level head as it relates to when we encounter issues in the community. So that's the interesting mix of it all. You know what I'm saying? And There could be a lot of that, man.
Yeah.
So, looking forward. I'm looking forward to those too.
Let me say this. Mary
That's
touched
gonna
on
be
one thing. Familiarity, name recognition, and relationship. How do we build this? How do we get this bigger? I can tell you now, there's two people on this Zoom, on this podcast right now. They don't even know that they have a relationship. And one of them is Barbara, and the other one is Felicia. Barbara and Felicia, did you guys know you both worked at Westside Health? Not Westside. Campaign for Drug-Free Westside?
No.
Felicia.
No.
Didn't you just say the other day that you worked at Campaign for Drug-Free Westside? Is she there? Felicia. Felicia Williams. I thought she's there.
Yeah, that's probably still on mute. But I didn't know she worked for a campaign for the Drug-Free Westside. Cause, like I said, I worked there, several years after he lost the second election. I worked there like almost 5 years after he lost.
Right.
Volunteering.
Well, we were on Time Exchange the other day. Felicia mentioned that she worked with CB&M over there, and I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that at the time. And of course, I'm sure. Well, Mary knows CB very well, also. Quite a few people on here that know CB over the years. But I wanted Felicia to kind of expound on what she was saying the other day. If she's there, Felicia, are you there? You're on mute if you are.
Hello?
Felicia, did you remember the other day you said something that you had worked at Campaign for Drug-Free Westside?
Yeah, some volunteers with them. Not like teenagers or something.
But you didn't.
And I'm still going through it now. That was like, whoa. I think they couldn't tear that building down.
No.
That was a long time ago.
No, they still there. When they started out over there on Adams.
Or they moved out of it or something.
Yeah, they moved out of
it.
Yeah, they moved like 3 times. They were on Adams and Central, then they moved on Madison, Austin, then they moved on Central and Fulton. But what I was saying is, I didn't know. I don't know if you know, Barbara Hopkins worked for them too.
Oh, okay. Okay, I think I answered some phones for them, volunteers for them, briefly. Yeah, I answered. Did some little receptionist work for them.
No, I was saying Barbara, that's on the podcast. Barbara Hopkins, she worked for them too.
Okay.
I
worked on his campaign when he was running the second time. Me and Carlton and all of them over there, we worked over there off of Central when he was running the second time for all of them. And then I worked like 3 years after 3 to 5 years after he lost, and I just volunteered over there also. And then I did some programs, some community programs out there, like job readiness for teenagers, young program for young girls at the library. So we hosted programs from under his organization.
Absolutely. So we're getting close to what we are at the top.
Yeah.
At the top of the hour.
Yeah.
And I don't. Where's Barry? We ain't heard nothing from Barry today. Where's Barry? Barry Corn. I thought it was what you know, Barry.
Well, I know you guys. And Mary, hey, Barbara, Felicia, it's good to be with you all. And I had a couple of thoughts I wanted to mention. I think one of the things that you've been talking about is involving young people. And I think we've got a pretty good model for it, for doing just that, which is to find a young person who's doing something or is that they in turn help one of us in some way.
Right.
It's so we don't have to have a big meeting. We don't have to, there's a lot that many of us have in common, that we want very similar things. So if we help each one-on-one, or, 3 people or whatever it is, just small numbers, and then we can grow it from there.
Right. You start with what we have, right?
But we take what we have, and if one of us connects with somebody else, that one person who connected with the second person is double their power.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. We start with what we have and utilize what we have to gain one. Like you said, reach one, bring one.
Yeah. All that kind of stuff, because then what we're talking about is this huge amount of growth. Because then it multiplies like a virus.
No, that's
where each of us becomes like
word virus.
So this ain't the time to be using the word virus.
a positive virus.
Yeah.
Because I think we can have positive virus as well as negative virus.
I hear you.
Mm-hmm. And as long as we got some virus protection, that's all.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, well, that's where we protect each other.
Right. True indeed. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
DeAndre, you mentioned a bunch of things that, I think you said one of the police people you've been talking to says their concern was getting the organizations to communicate with each other.
Yeah.
We just need somebody to do something about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a big deal. It's just finding someone who can do it. If they don't know how to do it, there's a lot of smart people that we all know.
Well, I would say one of the things that I try to do, especially like I was just like having conversations to have them. So when I find out stuff like that, especially to the organizations that's involved, I don't have a problem going and reaching out to them and saying, hey, listen, we're working on something here, and we need y'all to figure out y'all in, So that is something that I'll definitely be following up on. Probably after the holidays, though, to be honest, because everything, kind of starts to slow down right now, and everybody trying to, just relax.
Get someone to help you do that.
Yeah, the organizations. The organization's going to help you do it.
Anybody, but it could be an individual.
You know what it is, Barry? Let me tell you why it's difficult. People struggle for power. And when people struggle for power, they're not going to relinquish anything.
Yeah. That's if you assume that if you and I struggle for power, that if one of us gets it, the other doesn't. But the other possibility is that we can both become more powerful.
Of course.
If we work together.
Of course. That's the bigger plan.
Yeah, so to me, that's a more powerful model than the capitalistic competition model.
I mean,
but that's real. But that's real what Steve said. People want to be on top. A lot of organizations, from the outside looking in, can't stand inside there. It's a powerful struggle. Somebody want to be in control at all time. They're not willing to give it up. That's why you got so many organizations in the community. Somebody, because it was first it was about money. Who holds the purse strings when they would get all these little grants and stuff?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why a lot of these organizations could not work together. One of the other was going to hold the purse strings. It's very hard. It's
Yeah.
very much like that in the community. I have been in it. And
Yeah.
we try to get the things and like, who gonna get the money? If you get the grant,
Man.
I'm gonna hold the money.
Man.
It get ugly.
Ain't nobody saying who gonna do the work. Ain't nobody saying who gonna do the work.
You say
Who gonna hold the money?
Who gonna eat the food, but ain't nobody said who gonna go harvest it and prepare it.
Facts.
Exactly. That's real in that community. That's real.
Facts.
Well, let me just say this. If you ain't got none, you're gonna get some if you come together.
Yeah.
That's all. But you have to understand when you come together, everybody's important. Everybody has a role. And that's all to it, you know.
And Barbara, that's what we're doing with the Healthy Living Council. The big guys aren't in the Healthy Living Council. It's just us. It's just us little fish swimming together. And I think that it's a real positive way of working with each other.
Yeah.
Well,
because a lot of folks, even within the Healthy Living Council, are struggling to get some funds. But we can be more successful by working together, and that's the idea. Is the Healthy Living Council becomes a marketing tool for all of the organizations. So we're sharing contacts. So it expands your reach farther, and you in turn expand the reaches of Raheem and Dale and Millicent and Beulah and everybody else who's involved in the Healthy Living Council. Camilla?
Yeah. Well, Peacebrook is Peacebrook's idea of collaboration is the right thing to do. The idea that a person pass on their gift giving is the right thing to do. And we just got to figure out how to keep working it.
that's right.
Well, we're doing the first part of that by sharing the Peacebrook calendar, where everybody can put their events on, and down the Peacebrook membership directory, where you get everybody's contact info, so that people can contact each other. And now we're putting on the Healthy Living Council, and seems to me we've got potential to reach out to apart people with the Healthy Living Council.
That's good. You know me, Barry. I want to see more Oparkians involved. So that's good.
Well, so what we're doing is I think we're building numbers and getting stronger within.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. It's good to hear. All right, it's a good place. I'm gonna go ahead. So we at the 8:00 hour, and y'all already know we got various ways of interacting with the show: the Facebook, YouTube, and the Zoom. Any link you like. As we wrap up, we're gonna take it over to everybody. Just get y'all final thoughts. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with you, Barry.
You're looking for a wrap up?
Yes, sir.
Well, the people on this gathering are wonderful people, and it's wonderful what you guys are doing, and it's good to be with you all.
And happy Thanksgiving.
I haven't met you before. Julie, is it?
Jolene.
Julie. Yeah, so in any case, hello to you.
And happy Thanksgiving to you, Barry.
Oh, and to you all too. You too.
Wait, do you celebrate? Do you celebrate Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Oh man, you don't celebrate that. I'm just saying you got to. I don't know if you did or not.
I'm thankful year round.
Okay, so you don't celebrate Thanksgiving though. I just wondering. I mean,
yeah.
you just made that up. All right, Mama.
So it's funny. I just want to say, remind everybody about Thursday. If you know anyone that would need a hot meal, from 12 to 4, have them come by the Northwest Office Council address, division. And we will be there from 12 to 4. Anybody y'all know a person that's by themselves that don't have anyone to send them that way, because everybody something just need a meal. So if y'all know anybody, just send them our way.
Barbara, you put that in the Pittsburgh calendar, didn't you?
Yeah, it's in there. Yep.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's definitely in there because that's the only thing that showed red on my. I'm like, what is this? What the hell is this? Yeah, it's definitely on there.
They sure you seen it.
Yeah, the right way. The right way. That's the right way. Julene, I know she was preparing food earlier for her Thanksgiving. I saw her chopping up the greens, so she may or may not be there.
Julene, you there? Cora gone.
Mama Court?
No, I only see on Zoom. I only see Barbara, Julene, and me.
Cora's online. She was online. She might have.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Well, nevertheless, I'm just gonna say, may everyone have a happy Thanksgiving, and that we continue to look at reaching out, grabbing someone that's in the same mindset or frame of mind, and is concerned about the community, so we could bring them into the fold and get them involved.
Yes, sir. And so for me, I just like to wrap up by saying, man, hey, let's continue to love on one another. The holidays around the corner. For all those that can't or don't have somebody to love on, hey, slide through on Thursday. We got we're feeding people, and that's a whole lot of love in itself right there. And tomorrow I will be going to submit my signatures to be placed on the ballot for this district council. It's exciting once again. I look forward to hitting the box once again and trying to get elected. This is a great time. So for all you all that support that, just drop one of them prayers. You know what I mean, for a good representation, so a person like me can be representing the community the way I need to be. But beyond that, man, again, we do this every Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. There's multiple ways of interacting with the show. We got the Facebook, the Zoom, the YouTube. It's all how you want to get down. You know what I mean? We try to make it very accessible. And so, in closing, like I like to say, listen, we got plenty of seats at the table. We just trying to welcome y'all home. Thank y'all for allowing us to welcome you to Northwest Officer Council.
So, good night, all.
Good night.
Good night, folks.
Good night, all.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Thank you.
Oh, got him.
Man, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
On that. Yeah, you know what? I wanted to